I am Rasheed, coach, speaker and author, and welcome to the June issue of Catch the Coach, your newsletter for success and fulfillment. This month is all about courage, humility and fulfillment. Let's get straight off into it. First of all, let's start off with our news. The big news, the sad news, is that we lost, in a year of loss where we've lost so many greats, we lost yesterday the greatest Muhammad Ali, a man who was seen by many as the greatest boxer of all time, the greatest sportsman of all time, somebody who fought battles in the ring, outside of the ring, everything from colour, class, ethnicity, faith and so on, fighting battles to raise our consciousness. A great man, we salute him. When I stopped and I reflected when I was writing a blog of tribute to Ali, I stopped and I thought, I cannot think of anybody. I mean, he was first of all somebody in the 70s who was the most famous person on the planet. I thought I couldn't think of anybody who's more respected globally than Ali. How incredible is that? So we celebrate Ali, and I'm sure that you've been struck by that particular news. But I think there's so much courage that we should take, and those are big boots left for us to fill. In other news, I'm really delighted to flag up that last week I attended the second meeting of a charity that I'm very delighted to be on the board of, which is called the Healthy Life Foundation. We're working on backing some breakthrough research into age-degenerative diseases, and really the aim of the charity is really to help people prolong their health span, to live longer, healthier, happier lives and prolong that sense of hope, and to try and bring and to repurpose drugs, safer drugs, to treat things like cancer. Anybody who's been struck by things like cancer will know that many of the treatments for them are not really great in terms of the body. So it's about how it is that we can find non-toxic drugs, and there's some research being done by Professor Michael Lasanti looking at how drugs used for other things, and things like antibiotics might be able to be used perhaps in terms of treating serious diseases like cancer in a way that is far less harmful for the body. So that's some news. In other news, I'm very delighted that the work that I'm being doing with the NHS is expanding. I'm now going to be working with Homerton, another London NHS trust, along the work that I've been doing, which is about helping staff from black and ethnic minorities to help move forward, who are often underrepresented when it comes to senior levels within an organisation, and who often you find disproportionately involved in things like disciplinary. So I'm very delighted to be doing that work, and I'm really delighted to be doing work which is ultimately about improving the NHS as a whole, work experience for people of all backgrounds and so on, which is all really about equality. So again, there's a theme around equality here in this newsletter as well. Okay, in terms of events, this is where we're going to kick off our theme around courage. First event I want to bring you to your attention is our free event. Remember, I run a free monthly webinar every month on soultrader.biz, which you can find a link to here. So if you are very interested in the theme of courage, perhaps you're wanting courage personally, perhaps you're wanting more courage professionally, then join us for Courage, our next webinar, which is on the 21st of June. 21st of June, 7:30 to 8:15 p.m. Just follow the link on my website, rosario.com, or underneath this video, and you'll see that. So 7:30 till 8:15, Tuesday 21st of June. And my guest for that is going to be Rita Bailey. Rita Bailey is one of the first wave of coaches in the UK. She's a coach, she's a consultant, she's a specialist in leadership. She's worked with leaders in some big organisations from Microsoft, PricewaterhouseCoopers, through to the NHS, all sorts of fields, helping people who are at the cutting edge, who often need to be very courageous of going through lots of change. So if you're looking for more courage personally, professionally, or you have a role which involves that you need a lot of courage, then tune in for that very, very, very special talk that we're going to be having, where we're going to be exploring courage in all of its levels, personally, professionally, and so on. There are so many fields in which it is that we find that we need courage personally in our lives. So tune in for that. In terms of the other events, my other regular event, remember, if you haven't yet joined me for Networking for Success, and if you're wanting to move ahead in your life, in your career, or in your business, if it is that you're wanting more contacts, more connections, or if it is you're wanting to overcome nerves and so on, join me for Networking for Success, which is held once every month at the British Library and in proud partnership with the British Library. This is an event that is just going to help you feel more confident, more help you to be able to collaborate more, and to find all sorts of links. It attracts all sorts of like-minded people. So do join me. The next dates for that, they're all on the website, of course, but next dates for Networking for Success, 14th of July, 4 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. And then the next date after that, I'm just looking online right now, is, in fact, there's a June date ahead of that, Networking for Success, 16th of June, 4 till 7:30, and then 14th of July, 4 p.m. to 7:30. But all the dates are on the website. I hope you can join us. It's a very special event. Next thing I want to talk about is halfway through. We're halfway through the year. Can you believe that? Maybe you've been commenting on that. I want you to stop, pause and reflect, because sometimes we can suddenly think, well, where did the year go? So this is a perfect time, we're in the end of the second quarter, to stop and reflect. So I want you to perhaps grab a piece of paper, so pause this if you want. How's the year been for you so far? What have been the highlights? What have been the challenges? What are the things that have gone well? What are the things that have gone not so well? I want you to write all of those things down. And now I want you to write down what are the 2 or 3 things perhaps that are priorities for you personally, and what are the 2 or 3 things that are priorities for you perhaps professionally that you're still wanting to address for the rest of the year. That's not it. Okay, what now do you feel is the support or the help that you need in order to meet those challenges and to help you move forward for the rest of the year? And then finally, and here's where the challenge comes in, I want you to think about what's the first thing that you could be doing, and where you could be getting on with it in order to, what's the first thing that you could be doing? Perhaps maybe something that would really help you to make that jump forward. I'm going to move forward to our next item now. You know that I'm running the Courage webinar, but I want to talk a little bit about courage, and our courage is our tip for the month theme. So this is just a tip of a couple of different points that's going to help you to perhaps boost courage or become more understanding or mindful about courage. And we'll go into lots of this stuff in more detail on the webinar. But I want you to first of all write down what are all the times in your life that have required you to have courage, personally and professionally. Where did you find that courage from? Maybe it is that other people help you find your courage. Maybe it is that you found it within, or you had no choice. Write that down. How did you find the courage? Now, what are the areas that you need to have courage in to move forward? And what help and support do you feel that you need to move forward? And now here's the big challenge. I want you to find one thing that you could safely do that perhaps you're nervous about that could help you move forward. If you can do it today, it might be making a phone call. It might be telling somebody that you love them. It might be booking onto a course that you've always wanted to do. So we're now pretty much at the end of the newsletter. I just want to say all the best for the month ahead. Remember, you can stay in touch. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me, of course, on the YouTube channel that you might be watching. So many ways to stay in touch. My final quote from me, there's only one act of true courage, and that's to become who you are. Take care. Have a wonderful month. See you next month. Take good care. Bye-bye.